Good evening, y'all. It's your man DeSean BBN, and welcome back to another edition of my podcast. I hope you're having a good Monday. I got a good podcast in store for you today. First of all, I just gotta say, Tennessee Titans. What the hell? We lost to the Panthers 30-20. Now, okay, let me just say, I don't think Carolina's a bad team, but that was a game we could have won. We just didn't take care of business. It's I don't know. When I watch the Titans, sometimes I feel like I'm still watching the Jeff Fisher era Titans. Predictable, boring offense, coaching staff that has no idea what the hell they're doing. I don't know. I just want, I'd love to see Tennessee win the Super Bowl, but I just want to see a team that's consistent, game in and game out. A team that will consistently make the playoffs, or at least contend for the playoffs. Now, before the season started, I predicted Tennessee would go 10-6. Right now, we're 4-5. I don't know if we'll go 10-6. It's crazy. I mean, we benched Mariota. We got Ryan Tannehill playing quarterback. Now, he alright, but just he's not a long-term solution. That's all I'm saying. I mean, he's doing fine right now. Although last game against the Panthers, he kind of sucked. 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, got sacked 4 times. Like, I just don't know what it is about the Titans. One week we look great, next week we're bad. It's been like that since Jeff Fisher was the coach, and it's been that way since Jeff Fisher was fired. It was like that with Mike Munchak. It was like that with Ken Wisenhunt. Now it's like that again with Mike Vrabel. It's like, what the hell? Why can't y'all get it right? Titans? Find the right coach, find the right offensive coordinator who can groom a young quarterback, and we'll be straight. I mean, is that too much to ask? I mean, if we can't get to the Super Bowl, at least be a consistent playoff team. Like, man, you know, my 10-6 prediction probably isn't going to come true because we just not. I don't know. Let me pull up our remaining schedule real quick, see what we got left. Don't you just love technology? It don't load as fast as you want it to when you need it. Okay, so our next game is against the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City is 6-3. Now, Patrick Mahomes is supposed to come back and start that game. The game, it's in Tennessee, which is good. I mean, who knows? We might go out there and beat them. Now, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised because Tennessee has a habit of doing that. We'll beat a really good team like the Patriots, but then we'll get beat by a team we're supposed to beat, like Jacksonville. Speaking of Jacksonville, Jacksonville's our next opponent after the Chiefs. Then we got the Colts, got the Raiders, got the Texans, the New Orleans Saints, and then the Texans for a second time. Now, based on what our schedule is, what we got left, and how we've been playing this year, I mean, we might go 8-8, maybe 7-9, but I'm not feeling so confident that we'll go 10-6 anymore. I just, since I never know what to expect from the Titans on a week-to-week basis. I mean, I just don't know if 10-6 is even possible anymore. But 8-8, 7-9, definitely. Hopefully, we won't be any worse than that. Because I mean, if we go 6-10, yeah, it's under 500. We might get a top 10 pick, but if we're going to get a quarterback, all the good quarterbacks are probably going to be gone by the time it's our turn to pick. I mean, Tua, he's probably going to go number one. Jalen Hurts might be the next quarterback off the board. And after that, Justin Herbert. And by the time it's our pick, I mean, we ain't going to be in a position to draft any of those three quarterbacks. So hopefully Tennessee will do something. Hopefully we go 9-7 at the best. Maybe make the playoffs. I don't know. Now, moving on from the Titans. Oh, before I move on from the Titans, I mean, I will give y'all credit for beating the Buccaneers last week. But please, for the love of God, Tennessee, be more consistent. So, moving on. More good news. The college basketball season starts tomorrow. Great news. Now, that ain't good news. That's great news. I mean, college basketball, my personal opinion, best sport to watch. I mean, ain't nothing like March Madness. and filling out brackets. It's lots of fun. As you already know, I'm a Kentucky Wildcats fan. I got great expectations for this team. I'm thinking Final Four, maybe even championship. Now, of course, there's no guarantee that it'll happen, but I feel good about this team. We've got talent, we've got experience, we got better shooters than what we had last year. It's going to be a fun season. Now, my only concern is our non-conference schedule ain't as tough as what it has been in years past. I know we got our first game of the year is against Michigan State. Then we got Louisville, not right after Michigan State, but we will play Louisville in December. We got Texas Tech for the SEC Big 12 Challenge. Not sure how good they're going to be. I mean, they might drop off after made it to the championship last year. I, I think we're playing Ohio State and I believe North Carolina as well. Yeah, it's not the best non-conference schedule, but I mean, we'll get challenged in the SEC. It just depends on how good the rest of the SEC will be. Because, I mean, I know Kentucky's going to do their thing. Kentucky's going to win 25, 30 games, get a top 3 seed in the SEC tournament, top 3 in the NCAA tournament, more than likely. But how is the rest of the SEC going to do? I mean, is Tennessee going to be good like they was last year? Or what about Florida? What about Auburn? How good are they going to be? You know, again, it's going to be a good year. I'm thinking Final Four, maybe championship. I mean, we got enough talent and experience to do it. Just need a little bit of luck to go our way, because it's like they say, sometimes it's better to be lucky than to be good. Now, my prediction for tomorrow will beat Michigan State. I think it'll be a low scoring game. I don't think it'll be high scoring. It'll be a defensive battle. We'll struggle because, I mean, we do have a lot of freshmen on this team. We've got a lot of new faces who need to get acclimated. I think the final score will be Kentucky 73, Michigan State 68. I think Tyrese Maxey will be the leading scorer. He'll get, I'm going to guess 22 points, about 3 or 4 rebounds, 3 or 4 assists. And we'll also get some big contributions from Emmanuel Quickly, Hagens on the defensive side of the ball. Shoot, Khalil Whitney might give us a lot on offense and defense. But I do believe we'll beat Michigan State. So hopefully, we'll come out ready, prepared. Hopefully, we won't come out lollygagging and be a crap show like last year against Duke when they beat the crap out of us. But, that's in the past. I'm not going to talk about that. Kentucky will be great this year. I predict we'll finish the season, I'll say 28-3, number 1 in the SEC, get a number 1 seed in the tournament, and make it to the Final Four. Yep. So, moving on again, like I've been doing in my last couple podcasts, I am doing the top 10 for each positional player in the NBA. My first one was the point guards, last one was the shooting guards, and today I'm doing the small forwards. Now, small forward it's a unique position. If you're a small forward in today's NBA, you got to be able to play other positions. Maybe power forward, maybe shooting guard, maybe point guard. You got to be able to score, you got to be able to rebound, defend, pass, shoot. Pretty much, you got to be able to do a little bit of everything. Small forward, I would say, is the most talented position in the NBA after point guard. Small forward, it's a deep position with a lot of good to great players. And just like with my last videos, this is just my opinion. This is DeSean's opinion. This ain't ESPN's opinion. I'm not trying to get you to change your opinion. I mean, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me, that's fine. Feel free to post your own top 10. I'm not going to be bothered if you don't agree with me. But just remember, this is my opinion. So let me start this countdown. As usual, I'll start with some honorable mentions. Now, the first honorable mention is Kevin Durant. Yes, Kevin Durant. Now, the only reason I got him as an honorable mention is because he's injured. His Achilles tendon is snapped, and he's going to need the whole year to recover. Now, if he wasn't injured, yeah, Durant would be top 3, maybe even the number 1 small forward in the NBA. But because of the injury, I mean, I'm I'm not going to put him in the top 10 because he's not going to play at all this year. But I'll at least give him an honorable mention because when Kevin Durant is healthy, yeah, he's top 3 at his position, top 3, top 5 in the NBA. Durant, he is the best scorer in the NBA right now. Now, will he still be the best scorer in the NBA when he comes back? I don't know. I mean, Dominique Wilkins is the only NBA player who tore his Achilles and still was able to play at a high level. Now, if Kevin Durant can come back and be at least, I mean, he's not. I mean, if he can't be 100% his old self, if he can at least be 80% of his old self, that'll be good enough for Brooklyn because they got Kyrie Irving and they also have Karis LeVert, who, in my opinion, is a future star in the making. So Kevin Durant won't have to do it all by himself. He's the best scorer in the NBA today, and you know what? Maybe the best scorer in NBA history. I mean, the dude is 7 feet tall. He can pass and handle the ball better than some point guards. He can shoot and score from anywhere on the floor. He doesn't, and the big thing about him is he doesn't have to have the ball in his hands at all times in order to be effective. He can play off the ball and be a catch and shoot threat. I mean, he's 7 feet tall. He's got a quick release, long arms. I mean, how many players can actually block his shot? I mean, last year I was watching some highlights, and Anthony Davis, who is pretty tall and long himself, contested KD at the 3-point line. Kevin Durant still made it. And I'm just shaking my head in amazement. Like, man, Anthony Davis has a 7'4" wingspan. He's just as long as KD and still was unfazed by it. It's crazy, man. But yes, Kevin Durant, my first honorable mention. Now, my next honorable mention is Josh Richardson. Richardson spent his first 4 years with the Heat. Now he's with the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, Josh Richardson is a versatile player. He can play point guard, play shooting guard, he can play small forward. He's a pretty good defensive player. Probably the best defensive player in the NBA that nobody talks about. He's a good shooter, a good scorer. He's got star potential. He spent 4 years at Tennessee. He was a steal for the Heat in the second round. I think he could be a star. Maybe not like a superstar like Stephen Curry, LeBron James, but like an all-star at least. Now, I mean, Philadelphia, I mean, they don't really need him to be an all-star. They just need him to produce and be consistent. So if he can be consistent for the 76ers, I mean, it'll be a great year for the Sixers. Now, honestly, 76ers is my pick to win the East, but I mean, I'm not saying Josh Richardson will be the reason why they'll win, but he'll be a big part of that. My next honorable mention is Danilo Gallinari of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, Gallinari, he can play small forward as well as power forward. Great shooter, pretty good scorer, a good player that nobody ever talks about. In my opinion, one of the better players that has never made it to the All-Star game. Yes, he is a liability on the defensive side of the ball, but Gallinari is a pretty good shooter, pretty good all-around scorer. I mean, he's a great player to have out there because of that. Next honorable mention, Otto Porter Jr. Now, Porter Jr. is probably the best shooter in the NBA that nobody talks about. He can knock down shots from anywhere on the floor. He's a sniper from the three, got a good mid-range jumper, but he's not just a catch and shoot player. I mean, he can score out of the pick and roll. He can create for himself a little bit. He's not the best defensive player in the world, but I mean, he's good. He's in the last year of his max contract that he signed with the Wizards. Now, if he does leave Chicago, I think he'll have plenty of suitors. I mean, I'd like to see my Mavericks get him. I mean, we could use a 3-and-D wing if he decides to leave Chicago next year. Otto Porter Jr. would definitely open things up for Luka as well as for Kristaps Porzingis. So, hey, Otto, if you're going to leave Chicago, please consider Dallas. That's all I'm saying. And my last honorable mention is Gordon Hayward. Now, Gordon Hayward of the Boston Celtics, he's starting to get his groove back. If you recall, He signed a 4-year contract with the Celtics a couple of years ago. First game of the year, broke his leg, had to miss the whole season, had to spend the summer rehabbing. Last year, he he was rusty. I mean, it took him a while to get back in the swing of things, but looks like Gordon Hayward is maybe not back to what he used to be in Utah, but he's so far this year he's playing better than what he did last year. Now, Gordon Hayward will probably never be that guy that he was in Utah. His last 2 years in Utah, he averaged about 20 points, about 5 rebounds, about 4 assists. He he showed some good all around game. He also made the I believe it was the All Star game. He made the All Star game his last year, maybe his second to last year in Utah, but he hasn't made it back since. Will he ever make it back? I don't know. But Gordon Hayward, he's still pretty good. He can still contribute for any team that needs a versatile small forward. All right, that's that for the honorable mentions. Now let's jump into the top 10. Number 10, Bojan Bogdanovic. Bojan Bogdanovic is a small forward, plays for the Utah Jazz now. He started his career with the Brooklyn Nets. He also played for the Washington Wizards. He played for the Pacers. And now he's in his first year with the Utah Jazz. Bogdanovic is, without doubt, one of the best shooters in the NBA. He shot over 40% from the three-point line last year. But he's not just a catch-and-shoot spot-up guy. He can also create off the dribble when need be. He shot about 48% from the field last year, so he's pretty good. I kind of wish Dallas would have got him, but I guess we can't have everybody. Bogdanovic, yeah, number 10, it's probably about as good as he'll get. With him also being almost 30, I don't think we'll ever be talking about Bojan Bogdanovic being one of the top 5, maybe even the best small forward in the game. Not going to happen. Number 9, Chris Middleton, Milwaukee Bucks. Chris is another versatile small forward. Plays small forward, plays shooting guard. Heck, he probably plays power forward too in a small ball lineup. Chris Middleton, pretty good shooter, a good complementary player to Giannis. I mean, he gives the Bucks somebody else that can score, somebody that can defend, somebody who's long and athletic. Now, the only problem with Chris Middleton, he's not the most consistent basketball player. I mean, some games it looks great, some games it looks rather average. But when he is good, when he is on, it's a big boost for the Bucks. Chris Middleton made his first All-Star game last year. Probably won't be his last. Just as long as he can be more consistent, just as long as he continues to improve, because he's not that old. Heck, I don't even think he's 30 yet. I believe he's like 26, maybe 27. So he's still got plenty of time left in his prime. Number 8, Jason Tatum, Boston Celtics. Jason Tatum is in his, third year in the NBA. Now, hopefully this year he'll take a leap. Now, Jason Tatum had a great rookie year. He was a finalist for Rookie of the Year. He had a great performance in the playoffs and helped the Celtics get to the Eastern Conference Finals. But then in his second year, it was just he was, I get more or less the same player he was his rookie year. He didn't get better, but he didn't get worse. So far this year, Tatum is playing pretty good. He's averaging about 22 points. I think he's averaging about 8 rebounds as well. Now, the only problem with Tatum is his 3-point field goal percentage is higher than his overall field goal percentage. He's great from the 3-point line. He's shooting 48% from the 3-point line. If that ain't the best in the NBA right now, it's near the top 5. Gotta be. But his overall field goal percentage is only 40%. Now that has to get better. Jason Tatum, though, I mean, if he keeps it up, he might make the All-Star game this year. If not this year, maybe next year. Now, Tatum definitely is not a bust, but the third year, fourth year, this is about the time where you really separate yourself. You show that you're a future star in the making. Now, if he doesn't make the All-Star game within these next 2 years, might not ever happen, but he'll always be a really good basketball player at least. Number 7, Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram is another small forward from Duke. Yeah, I despise Duke. I despise the Blue Devils and everything about them, but I got much respect for Brandon Ingram. He's a really good basketball player. He's long, he's athletic, he's playing great right now. He's averaging about 25 points, about 7 rebounds, about 4 assists right now. Brandon Ingram, me personally, I think he's better than Jason Tatum. I like him more. I like him more because of his versatility. Because Ingram can play, he could play 4 positions. I mean, he's got the handles and the passing ability to be a point guard. Now, he's not the best shooter in the world, but he's a good enough shooter to keep the defense honest, which allows him to play small forward, shooting guard, or even power forward, like in a small ball lineup. Now, coming out of high school, they scouts compared him to Kevin Durant, which is understandable. I mean, like Kevin Durant, Brandon Ingram was tall, skinny, can handle the ball pretty well, but he don't shoot the ball as well as Kevin Durant, and he's not consistent like Kevin Durant. Like whenever Kevin Durant is out there, he's going to give you 25 plus points every night. Very rarely will you see Kevin Durant have an off game. Now, for Brandon Ingram, on the other hand, he might get 25, 30 points one game. Then the next game, yeah, he might only get like 10 or 12 points. I guess that's a problem with a lot of young players, consistency. They'll be great one game, then they'll be average the next. Now, if Brandon Ingram can get some consistency, yeah, he'll be seeing the All-Star game many times in the future. Now, his stats, not surprisingly, his stats did improve since leaving the Lakers, but his statistical output, it's not translating into wins. I mean, New Orleans is 1-5, while the Lakers are 5-1. Now, I don't know. Me personally, if I were the Lakers, I would have kept Ingram instead and let the Pelicans have Kuzma. But I mean, whatever. I'm not the one calling the shots. I mean, if Brandon Ingram can be more consistent and turn into the star that I think he'll be, I think he'll be better than Kuzma. But right now, I mean, it's right now I think they're about even, but Ingram has more upside. All right, number 6, Tobias Harris. He too plays for the 76ers. Now, Josh Richardson plays the shooting guard while Tobias Harris plays the 3. Now, Tobias Harris done played for so many different teams in his 8-year NBA career. He started with the Bucks, then they traded him to the Magic, then the Magic traded him to Detroit. Detroit traded him to the LA Clippers. The Clippers traded him to Philadelphia. He signed a 5-year contract this offseason worth $180 million. So far, so good. He's averaging about 19 points, about 9 rebounds, about 3 assists. I mean, his field goal percentage is efficient. He's shooting the ball efficiently from the field as well as the 3-point line. He good. He might be the best player at the small forward position right now that hasn't made the All-Star game. Actually, no, he's not. But he's a really good small forward, and I think he'll make the All-Star game this year, especially if Philadelphia continues to steamroll through the NBA. Right now, they're the only undefeated team left. Don't know how long it's going to last, but yeah, Philadelphia. I'm calling right now. Philadelphia will win the Eastern Conference. All right, now for the top 5. Number 5, my guy Luka Doncic, Dallas Mavericks. Luka was the Rookie of the Year last year, and so far this year he's playing great. Through our first 6 games, Dallas is 4-2. Luka has had a triple-double in 3 of those 6 games. Luka, he almost averages a triple-double for the season. Right now, he's averaging about 26 points, 10 rebounds, and 9.7 assists. Which, I mean, that pretty much rounds up to 10. But since it's not officially 10, I'm not going to say he's averaging a triple-double. Now, I'll be honest here. I have my doubts on Luka Doncic, but I am more than happy to admit that Luka Doncic has proved me wrong. That boy is a baller. He can score, shoot, rebound the ball, great passer and playmaker. He makes others around him better. His defense still needs work, but Luka Doncic is a future superstar. Just watch. As long as he stays healthy and as long as he continues to improve, there's nothing that'll stop him from becoming a superstar. Now, not really too concerned about him not improving. I mean, the kid is very mature for his age. I don't think he's going to rest on his laurels. He's going to continue to get better. He's going to potentially be the best player in the NBA, if not a top 10 player without question. But I mean, right now he's not top 10, but right now we'll just have to settle for Luka being top 5 at the small forward position. Number 4, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard's running mate in LA. Now, Paul George has yet to play this year because he's rehabbing from his shoulder injury. But when Paul George is healthy, you got a great two-way player. Score and shoot from anywhere. He can defend multiple positions. He's a good passer. Great, great player. He was an MVP candidate last year. Now, my only concern with Paul George is Paul George tends to disappear when the going gets tough in the postseason. Like regular season, Paul George is money, but postseason, Paul George is broke. Like take 2 years ago when Oklahoma City played against the Utah Jazz. Oklahoma City wins game 5. Paul George scored, I believe, 28, 30 points, something in that range. So going into game 6, you're thinking that Paul George is going to have another big performance and help the Thunder get to game 7. Nope. Game 6, everything's on the line. You win or you go home. Paul George only scored 5 points on 2 of 16 shooting. Now, a player of Paul George's caliber should never go 2 of 16 in an elimination game and only get 5 points. That is unacceptable. Now, yes, I get it. Everyone has bad games, but that is you can't have games like that if you're a superstar player like Paul George is. Paul George, once he comes back healthy, I mean, not the Lakers, the Clippers are going to be even more dangerous than what they are now. And it's my personal opinion. If everything works out, both teams stay healthy, the Western Conference Finals is going to be Lakers versus Clippers, and it'll go to Game 7. Not sure who will win. Might be Lakers, might be the Clippers. It could go either way. Now, right now, the Clippers got the advantage on the Lakers. They won the first matchup. Now, who knows? Lakers might win the season series. I don't know, but Lakers are clicking right now. Clippers are also clicking. It's going to be interesting to watch those two teams duke it out this year. Now, number 3, the King, LeBron James. Yep. LeBron James had a great run as the top small forward in the NBA, as well as the best player in the NBA. Went to the finals 8 years in a row, came out on top 3 times. He's starting to slow down a little bit, but he's still able to play at a high level. He had a triple-double the other night against the Spurs. He had a triple-double against my Mavericks, and they beat us in overtime. LeBron can still play. Yet haters won't admit it, but LeBron James is still great. He can still play at a high level. I don't care if you like him or not. You gotta give LeBron his props. He's still one of the top players in the league. He's still one of the top 5 greatest players of all time. You can talk about him having a losing record. Oh, he's 3-6 in the finals. Okay. Yeah, he's got a losing record. I mean, it sucks. You would rather win more than you lose more, but you know how many Hall of Famers there are that don't have a championship ring? You know how many Hall of Famers there are that have never been to the NBA Finals? There's several. You know how many stars there are in the NBA right now who've never been to the finals? A lot. So, yeah, you can make fun of him all you want, but he's still a champion. I mean, yeah, his record is 3-6, but one thing you can't take away from him, he's a champion. You can't take away the fact that he's a top 5 player all time. No worse than top 10. All right, number 2, Giannis I'm not even going to attempt to say his name. The Greek Freak. Giannis, number 2, best small forward in the game. Giannis is, well, to me, he reminded me a lot of LeBron when LeBron was in his prime. Freakishly athletic, can score, can make others around him better, rebounds, defends at a high level. Now, the one thing that's holding Giannis back is his 3-point shooting. Now, you don't have to be Stephen Curry to be a great player. You don't have to be a 40% 3-point shooter to be great. But if Giannis could at least shoot 33 to 35% from the 3-point line, that would make him even more dangerous. I mean, this dude takes 3 dribbles and he's at the rim. Like, the things Giannis can do with the ball, it's ridiculous. I mean, Giannis is a joy to watch. I hope he stays in Milwaukee. If he does leave Milwaukee, hopefully he won't try to form a super team with the Warriors, but who knows? Giannis, though, that 3-point shot, that's the main thing that's holding him back. I mean, if he can get a 3-point shot, hell, that might be enough to put him at number one. Maybe even enough to say he's the best player in the NBA. But number one for the small forward position is Kawhi Leonard. Now, if LeBron's not the best player in the game no more, it's Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard can score from anywhere on the floor. Got a nice mid-range game, nice post game, great 3-point shooter, good rebounder, still one of the best defensive players in the league as well, while also being one of the best scorers in the NBA. He's improved as a passer. He's a leader. Like, if I'm not sure if there was one thing that holds Kawhi Leonard back, I guess it's durability. Because Kawhi Leonard, after he injured his ankle in the Western Conference Finals against Golden State, he only played I believe 9 games with the Spurs in his final year. Then they traded him to Toronto, which he stayed healthy. He didn't really have any injuries, but they did put him on load management. Now, a lot of people have mixed opinions on load management. Now, I could see both sides of the argument. Now, load management keeps you fresh, keeps you from getting injured, have you ready for the playoffs. But I understand why some people are against load management, because you're paying all this money to go see these guys play, but then you come to the Staples Center and find out Kawhi Leonard's not playing tonight because of load management, and you're like, what the hell? I paid all this money for these tickets, and dude's not even playing, and he's healthy? Like, come on, man. I get it. I understand both sides. So, I mean, I'm not taking a side in this situation. I'm just saying I understand both sides. But again, Kawhi Leonard is the best small forward in the NBA, as well as the best player in the NBA as of this year. And it'll probably remain that way for the next 5 or 6 years or so until somebody dethrones him. All right, y'all. That's my top 10 small forwards. Again, college basketball starts tomorrow. Get ready, because Kentucky is going to run things this year. And I hope y'all have a great Monday. This is DeSean BBN, and I'm out.